Jaguar was once a mainstay of motorsport around the world. 7-time winners of Le Mans and many other major championships, including the Australian Touring Car Championship, Jaguar were once again well represented at historic Sandown. This beautiful Mark 7 has an interesting local history and an owner with quite an interesting background with the marque itself. Well, one of the interesting cars here at the historic Sandown for 2021 is a magnificent Jaguar. And Chris, could you tell us about this car and its history?
Yes, the car was rebuilt as a racer by its former owner, a chap called John Tupikoff, who lives up near Brisbane. And he took a very, very nice existing standard car and very competently did what's necessary to make it go around a circuit.
So exactly what has been done to it from the standards? What are the differences between a standard Mark 7 and this car?
Well, it's had better brakes fitted. It has had slightly smaller, slightly wider and stronger wheels with better tyres. They're actually Jaguar XJ6 tyres. And then it's been lowered a little bit and much better adjustable shock absorbers fitted. And engine-wise, it's been relatively mildly tuned, but it does develop more horsepower than a standard car would. And it has had a slightly better all-synchromesh, still Jaguar, gearbox fitted to it in place of the relatively clunky 1950s gearbox. Yeah.
Now, I notice that the car is road registered on club plates here, and does it see much use on the general roads?
No, I actually have another Mark 7 Jaguar, which is completely standard and automatic, and I tend to use that one on the road and just take this one out occasionally to give it an airing, but it's mainly gets used for events like this.
Now, you've got quite a history with Jaguar, haven't you, and particularly with this sort of car. Tell us about that.
Yes, I have. I started racing old saloon cars in the UK in 1979. And eventually in 1989 I got the opportunity to buy a racing Mark 7 Jaguar from a chap who was local to me. So I bought that and raced that for a couple of years, and then I briefly raced a Jaguar, a Mark 10 Jaguar. That was quite an experience. And later on I was invited to co-drive a Jaguar Mark 7, which took part in longer races, 1 hour races. Along with the owner. I did that right up until I came out here to Australia 5 years ago. And when we arrived in Australia, I had no intention at all of getting involved in racing, let alone old cars. But these two Jaguars, actually, I always say that they found me rather than I found them. And we were house sitting originally when we arrived. We hadn't got round to buying a house yet, and before I even managed to buy a house, I had managed to buy 2 Jaguars. So,
now, what was the response from the wife?
Well, fortunately, I mean, we've been married over 40 years, and she is very, very understanding, so I'm very lucky in that respect. Yeah.
So obviously we've had a bit of a break for a while. I mean, what's it like to get back on the track this weekend at Sandown?
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. You know, my social life consists of a mixture of old car events, both on track and off track, and a bit of music on the side, you know. And doing none of that was extremely painful. So to get back outside, to get on the track, to meet all the guys, you know, to see all the cars again, absolutely wonderful, yeah.
Now, you mentioned music there. Can you tell us, do you play music? Is that your involvement in music?
Oh, well, yes. When I was in the UK, I got involved in what you might call traditional music, you know, folk music, and learned to play the tin whistle and the concertina, not at the same time, of course. And when I came over here, I went to a folk festival and got roped in by the local folk music organisation. So between the meeting that we have once a week, you know, where we all sit round and play together, we also have a couple of sessions in people's houses during the week, you know. So I could have 3 music sessions and 3 or 4 car-related events every week. And as I say, going from that to nothing was extremely hard, yeah. But all that's starting up again, I'm very pleased to say.
Well, I must say, when we managed to get back in the studio on Channel 31 on In Pit Lane, we have music, live music every week. Perhaps we could get you in and get you and some of the guys in and hear some of your music.
Oh, that would be a great pleasure. Yeah, we'd love to do that.
Okay, Chris, good luck for the rest of the weekend. But for now, thanks for joining us in Pit Lane.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.